Welcome back, Airbnb family. In this video, I want to introduce you to something. I had this designed after I caught COVID-19. This is my secret weapon against coronavirus in my Airbnb properties, and I want to introduce it to you because I think you're going to like it. So without further ado, let me show you this wonderful product that I've had made, and I'll tell you all about how it works. And also, can I get a virtual high five for last video, the 4 signs of if you're in over your head as an Airbnb host? I had a lot of you Airbnb hosts say that was like eerily on the spot. So if any of you have been struggling your way through coronavirus season, post-coronavirus, watch that video. Because if you don't think you have a handle on your business, I think that video will help. So just saying that, putting it in the description so you can watch it. It's probably my first video since I've been back, so it's chock full of value. Now, what I'm about to show you here is a light system. Now, in the description of this video, I will also include research and white papers on how this technology works, so I don't have to drone on forever, but I'll give you the skinny. Light comes in a spectrum from basically X-ray to vacuum UV, to UVC, UVB, UVA, the rainbow spectrum that we can see, and then infrared. That's the whole spectrum of light. And that, remember when I just said UVC, UVB, UVA? Well, UVC light specifically has been used to kill bacteria and viruses in warehouses and industrial settings. It's not necessarily human safe, except for a very narrow range of light called far UVC. It can be used. Now, that range of light, to create that spectrum of light is really difficult and expensive, but what I've been able to do is I've been able to take UVC light and I've been able to design these products to shut off in the presence of humans or pets. So that way they're not exposing people to the light. And that's pretty much how this all works. So I will first introduce you to the one that I'm kind of most excited about because this one took the most work. Now, this I'm calling the Basilisk Gateway. Now, I named the company Basilisk after the mythological creature, the snake that kills things on sight. Basically, anything within eyesight of this thing is dead. If you're a virus or a bacteria, not people. It's not that dangerous. So this emits a narrow spectrum of UVC light. The reason why that's important is because a certain spectrum of UVC light actually creates ozone, and ozone is effective for like killing bacteria and viruses and like, sterilizing homes and even helping with smoke smells and stuff, but it lingers for hours after it's been used. And what I wanted is for these lights to be able to be on, and then as soon as somebody walks in, they shut off. So this actually goes above your door, and I'll show you some photos. So this goes inside the front door and it stays on. And when somebody opens the door, it shuts off. So they're not even exposed to UVC light more than a fraction of a second is the point. Now, you can be in the presence of UVC light for, a period of time, but extended exposure is not good for you and you're not supposed to stare at the light. So by adding a kill switch to this based on motion, no one's ever, exposed to it for an extended period of time. So combining this with other technologies or other lights creates a whole home like defense system is my idea here. So you've got your Basilisk Gateway in the entrance of your home. If you have a small apartment, that actually casts into the kitchen, probably into the living room. Or if you've got a home with like a mud room, it would basically sterilize that whole area. This next one we call the Basilisk one. These just all got out of prototype, by the way, so they are available for pre-sale. We're still shipping in the units. So this emits that same narrow range of UVC light, no ozone, and it also comes with a motion sensor built in, so anybody comes within a range of this thing, it shuts off. Now, this one specifically, you turn it on for a period of time because this is designed to go next to your bed or, in the living room near the couch. And so you don't want this on in the middle of the night while someone's sleeping and have it turn on while they're not moving. So this one can be turned on for an hour at a time, half an hour at a time. And the way that we're going to be using these is there's going to be one in the living room near the couch and one next to the bed because those are fabric surfaces. Those are harder to clean. And most housekeepers don't really do anything to sterilize a couch or a mattress or pillows with an antiviral. So this is our solution. Now, the housekeeper comes in and activates these each for an hour. And while they're in the living room and the kitchen cleaning, then the one in the living room actually turns off because it can sense the presence of the housekeeper. Then when they go into the bedroom or the bathroom, the bedroom one shuts off when they walk in the bedroom and the living room one turns on. And basically that allows the housekeeper to start cleaning the whole home, and this does the extra work. And combined with the gateway, the one that goes inside the front door, housekeepers are less likely to catch coronavirus while they're working. And that's a big thing for us because when I got sick, I'd reckon with the fact that COVID-19 is contagious. I think my best friend gave it to me and he was asymptomatic. The last thing I want is for a housekeeper to catch COVID-19 in one of our apartments and then goes and cleans 5 or 6 other ones over the course, like not that same day, but they get sick and 3 days later they start to spread it and they're asymptomatic or they don't have symptoms yet, they're pre-symptomatic. And the amount of damage that could get done would be insane, right? Because other housekeepers could get sick, guests could get sick, and that would be no fun. And if guests got sick, who knows what would happen if guests start reporting that they're getting sick in our apartments? Maybe Airbnb would shut our listings down until like it blows over, and we don't want that. So thankfully that hasn't happened yet. So you run one of these in the living room, one of these in the bedroom, this above the doorstep or doorway, and it will sterilize as much of your property as possible and allow your housekeeper to do their job well and to do it safely. And then when the housekeepers leave, we turn all them on again, activate these for another hour. So when they're gone, these sterilize the home in the absence of the housekeeper. So let's say the housekeeper was sick and they're coughing or whatever, and the particulates in the air that could or could not carry coronavirus, this will sterilize the air because it's anything within contact. So this is what we've created. And yes, coronavirus is real because I caught it and it put me down for 48 hours straight. I was like laid out in a hotel bed, just quarantining. I couldn't move for 48 hours. It was rough. And then the whole following week was terrible. I don't wish it on anybody. I mean, so for those of you who are asymptomatic, lucky you, but it wasn't good for me. The last thing we have, and this isn't necessarily important, but we've designed it because we think that it could be useful. So it is available, and we're still making up our mind about how effective this is for our employees. But this is a personal UVC light. It comes with a fail-safe switch on the side. Double tap to turn it on. You may be able to see the light or not, but this thing, yeah, okay. It turns off when you turn it upward, so that way you can't look at it, because obviously UVC light's not good for you. This is meant to sterilize surfaces, so you could put like a mask. So that's really what this we thought of is people's phones, people's masks, their car keys, their wallet, their credit cards, anything that inside their purse, and they can just basically hold this over whatever they want to sterilize, and they can clean it. Because a lot of people reuse masks. And the cloth masks, those reusable, plasticky ones that break easy. The problem with that is they capture particulates, dust, moisture, saliva. And over time, if you had any bacteria or viruses in any of those substances that got carried onto your mask, because your saliva is on there, because you're leaving traces of protein, stuff like that, dead skin, these things could possibly live on your mask longer than they should, which is no fun. Even if you don't replace your mask every day, there is still a slightly larger problem there by reusing masks and just letting them be dirty. So we don't want our housekeepers to take their work home with them. We don't want them to even though they may not be getting sick because they wore the mask, we don't want them bringing the mask or anything that they had inside the home, like their phone, home with them, and then possibly tainting their home environment and getting their family sick, or then getting themselves sick by accident after the fact. So all three of these create as much protection as I can imagine is necessary without going into some crazy mode where we buy a bunch of fog machines and just bomb the apartments every single day with some high-powered antiviral and fog every place. I don't think that that's quite necessary, because if we're cleaning surfaces as well as we should be, then these should follow up and kind of handle the rest. That's our thought process. Now, cost is important, and this is another part of this, is when I first did my research on UVC lights, a lot of the ones that I found were like $1,000 plus. These things aren't necessarily cheap, and they're normally designed for industrial or warehouse situations. And one light, $1,000 plus light, $1,500 light that you roll into the middle of a living room and turn on, sure, it's super effective. You just keep it on there for 5-10 minutes. It probably just kills everything, but it doesn't handle the bedroom. It doesn't handle everything else. And how do you move a $2,000 light between 20 apartments, right? It's really not possible, especially if your housekeepers are cleaning multiple apartments a day and everything's getting cleaned at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. I don't know how many of you have the same thing with us, but it's almost all of our apartments have to be cleaned every Sunday. Sunday's the biggest checkout day ever. We'd have to buy a fleet of $2,000 UVC lights. So instead, we created this. Now, the way that this is designed is to have multiple of them, like I said. So 2 of these, one in the bedroom, one in the living room, and then 1 of these over the doorway, all 3 combined, we are selling as like a system for $320 online. We are selling them separately and stuff like that, but that's aside from the point. So this drastically is by far cheaper than the corporate version or the industrial version. Now, if you look at the cost benefit for this, Airbnb has a cleaning protocol where you either have to agree after every checkout, 72 hours of downtime, no guests for 72 hours, or you agree to their high bar of cleaning standard. You agree to their cleaning standard, and that still includes a 24-hour downtime window between guests, which means if your average length of stay is 4 days, then every 5th day is blocked on Airbnb. We're talking 5 or 6 days a month that you would not get bookings if you have a 4-day average. So if you're making $80 to $100 a day on a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio, or you're making $200 or $300 a day on a home, you're talking about $300 to $1,500 a month in lost revenue because you signed on the line for Airbnb's extended cleaning protocol, right? So instead of us doing that, we do our own cleaning our own way, but now we can use these to show guests that we have some sort of comprehensive way to prevent COVID-19, and it works, and that's the point. And so we can use this in our marketing and say we have advanced anti-coronavirus technology in the home. And that as one alternative is great. And then additionally, other risks of cost is if your housekeepers do get sick. Like if one housekeeper got your other housekeeper sick and all of a sudden you have a staff shortage, you would have to hire a third-party cleaning service at a much more inflated rate. And our business models, we hire in-house, we pay them by the hour. So even if you already have third-party cleaning company, you could get them sick and they would possibly stop working for you. You'd have to find another cleaning service. And if that cleaning service is short-staffed, they'll probably let you down because they don't have enough staff to clean your places because they all got sick. That is a huge risk because the moment that places aren't clean is the moment that you have to give a full cleaning fee refund and 50% of every single day that the guest stays. And if the guest doesn't want to stay, apparently Airbnb right now is giving full refunds to any guest that is unhappy with the cleanliness of the home and calling it a hosting standard violation. So there's tons of money to be lost if it doesn't go well. So keeping your housekeepers healthy is important, and then not having to block your calendar is important. So those 2 things alone, for me, are a big reason why I needed an alternative to this COVID-19 cleanliness, agreement with Airbnb, and to have an actual real defense. Because signing on to Airbnb's I will clean this way doesn't actually protect your housekeepers as well as you think. You sign to agree that your housekeepers will wear PPE gear, but that's still no guarantee. I still got sick. And I wasn't joking around about masks. I was not being dumb, and I still got sick. So that's just the way it works. There's never a guarantee. So this is an extra line of defense. Your housekeepers should still wear masks when they're cleaning, even if you have something like this. Every little bit helps, hands down. So if you have questions about this product, there's a link in the description. We're working on the website. I think the website looks good. Let me know what you think about the site, by the way. I'm not necessarily an e-commerce guy. This is my first time ever providing a product to the community. So let me know what you think. And if you have questions about the specs on this, I'll try to get as much in the description as possible, but anything I miss, put it in the comments. I will answer it for you. Welcome to my solution. And if you like it, it can be your solution. They're on pre-order. I just need to warn you. We're shipping in the units now that the prototyping phase is done. I don't have a bunch of inventory where if you order right now, I'm just going to hand it to you. They still have to come in. So give it a little bit of time and you'll be one of the first to get them. So thanks for watching Airbnb Automated. Stay safe and enjoy this, and I'll see you on the other side.